Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. And if you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you like this video and my content, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Now, we're going back to my childhood when I'm an 80s, 90s kid, mostly 80s. And I got introduced to Michael J. Fox as Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties. But also, let's go back to the future, which this is going to be a triple bill review, classic review. Um, Spoilers ahead, where I kind of summarize time travel in this trilogy, which is fairly tight at most. And also, we get introduced to Crispin Glover as his father, George McFly, and also um, his mother, played by Leah Thompson, and Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd. And it's a fun journey with all these three movies. It doesn't really keep you on your toes, but it's fun, it's entertaining. The pace is good, the character development, but at the time we meet Marty, and his well-being, his family life is so-so. It's a little on the rocks. His parents' financial situation isn't good, and also their relationship isn't good. And Marty goes to Doc Brown's house to see where he is, and he happens to be, Doc wants to meet at Twin Pines Mall and show him this time machine that he's been working on, the DeLorean. And so push forward, and we see that Marty meets him. He shows him the time machine, and he has to go at 88 miles per hour to go through time. Thus, we meet Marty meeting his father in the diner, and it's awkward. And also, soon to be his uncle, Biff. Biff Tanner, and played by Thomas F. Wilson. And it shows their relationship, and both Marty's father likes his mother at the time. This is during when they're in high school in 1955. And Biff is trying to sway her his way, and George isn't really swaying anything. So Marty makes up a persona in order to help out his mother and father. And it's a good story. It ties it up. He eventually does fix the crux of it, and he tells his father that he can have the confidence to stand up to Biff. And he stands up to Biff and, clocks him. And that surprises his mother. And that settles the story until we get it concluded, and Marty returns home, and all is said and done, and he notices something in the garage, a brand new truck, and his parents are well off, and his girlfriend Jennifer. Um, and overall, it's a heartfelt, fun ride of a movie. And for my rating, I get 5 out of 5 stars. Now, moving on to Back to the Future Part 2, where we meet Marty just at the end of 1, where essentially Doc has to tell him he has to go to the future, to 2015, to save his son, essentially, from doing crime. And ironically, him and Jennifer get brought to the future in 2015, and Marty essentially has to solve his son, take care of his son, which ironically looks exactly like him, and he does so, and then he gets this idea of getting this baseball almanac at the time, and using it for good, some good, in order to get more money, essentially. And, well, future Biff, Tanner, sees him and future Doc Brown, and, well, future Biff decides to take the almanac while they were essentially taking care of Jennifer and keeping her safe. And, well, Biff changes time and sets everything in course, so it's essentially Biff's world. And Marty goes to the future because there's the timeline screwed up, and solve that. He goes to the future, and it's like all crummy and gritty and burnt to hell, and there's biker gangs and so on and so forth in Hill Valley. And he tries and deals with now his father, Biff, and his mother. And now Marty has to go back in time to take care of Biff screwing up the timeline. So the 1985 timeline works out. And then, as he's doing so, but at the time, the DeLorean's slightly in bad shape, and they have to use other means in order to get it going so it can. So future Doc Brown helps him out with that, and they solve it. And my rating for it in character development is roughly 4 stars out of 5. It's good. And then at the end, the tail end of the movie, Back to the Future Part 2, we get Doc Brown disappears at the end of 2, and Marty is almost stranded, and Marty gets a letter from Doc Brown stating that he's in the West in 1885 and something bad is going to happen. So Marty rushes to 1985 Doc Brown's house, tells him about it, and 1985 Doc Brown doesn't believe him and thinks he shouldn't go, but Marty goes because, well, the letter from Doc Brown from 1885, and we Marty and that 1985 Doc Brown take the DeLorean and have it take off into a drive-in theater, and we meet Marty as he's bursting out of time, getting chased by Indians in the first act. As he gets away from them, and he hides the time machine, but he notices the time machine doesn't have tires. And how is he going to get back in time to 1985? So in turn, he goes and finds Doc again, and right before that, he meets his great uncle McFly and his wife and his family, and they hand him off a gun and also better clothes. And Marty takes on the persona of Clint Eastwood for this 1885 time machine. And we meet who's after Doc Brown in part 3. It's Biff. It's Western Biff. Biff needs to get rid of Doc Brown because Doc has caused some sort of problem, and, well, he doesn't like it. And also, the themes throughout it, the Biff and Marty McFly themes that proceed throughout it. Biff always calls Marty chicken, and that, well, gets under Marty's skin. So that is a trigger for Marty to save Doc even more. And once again, they have to solve Time Machine. And also, the other crux is that current 1885 Doc Brown falls in love with a lady played by Mary Steenburgen, and his race for time in order to get Marty back to 1985. But Marty doesn't want to leave until he saves Doc's life. But Doc and him come up with a plan, and they use a rail system, and they essentially have to get it up to 88 miles per hour, but with a train. And they also have to use coal, and they essentially do it. And at the end, when Marty returns back to 1985, he meets up with Jennifer again, and also when he got back, ironically, a train destroyed the DeLorean, and any means of time travel. And by the surprise at the end, he meets Doc Brown again, except Doc has made this steam-powered train time machine. And Doc has a family, and Mary Steenburgen as his wife. And it all three of them, they managed to tie up a good amount of plot and story, and character and story. And these are essential classics, which I highly recommend everybody watch if you haven't watched already. I think they just released a 4K version, which I'm okay with the set I currently got, the 25th anniversary set. But still, if you haven't seen it, see it. Now, and my rating for Back to the Future Part 3 is 4 stars out of 5. Now, if you really have enjoyed and you've stayed through me reviewing all 3 of these, there's 3 more reviews coming to you, 3 more triple bill reviews coming for you. And it's going to be Indiana Jones Trilogy is coming up, along with Die Hard Trilogy, Bruce Willis Die Hard Trilogy. So if you enjoy my content and you stuck through this whole video, please give it a like, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. I think there's 57% of you guys and gals who haven't subscribed. So please hit that button and also give me a thumbs up if you can. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, take care, and byes for now. If you need some pop and popcorn, I recommend you have some Pepsi. So Pepsi keeps you spontaneous. Anyways, see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.